Hi, this is DarkFox127 and welcome to another Caranthir Tower Reborn live stream. Today's going to be a bit more of a chilled, relaxed one really, and I'm going to be going through something that people keep requesting for tutorials, which I'm not going to do just yet if I do bother with it at all. It's basically MCM. So the menu that you get on a lot of mods these days, it's a nice custom menu that comes up, and you can change all the options of the mod in the actual settings menu rather than through a load of annoying menus with the usual menu system in the game. And basically I was like, well, I'm going to do that now, even though it won't be fully done. I'm going to be doing the foundations of it and some of the settings. And what I did say on one of the other live streams was that when I do it, I might live stream it because people have no idea how it works, how to do it, and maybe I can explain it a little today, the best I can, while you wait for a tutorial if I actually do bother to do one. Well, it won't be one tutorial, it'll be a lot of tutorials. But yeah, I thought it might be a nice idea just to do some MCM stuff and then just stream it for anyone that does want to see it. So I don't think there's going to be a huge turnout for the stream live, but never mind. It's a bit of an awkward time, just Sunday. Just it's out the blue, as my streams are. So yeah, I already started on it. An MCM is obviously done via scripting, papyrus scripting, and it ends up being, depending on how many settings you want and how fancy you want it, it ends up being one very long script. And in fact, what I should have done is bring up the actual thingy for it. Let me see, let me find that first. There is a website for it. If I've got the link on my Maxon on my second one, so I don't think it's here anywhere, so I'll just go MCM guide and hopefully we'll find it. Skyrim MCM guide, quick start, that's it. There we go. I'll leave the link to this in the description anyway. That's basically going to help you a lot, get you setting it up. But what I'll do is in this video I'll try and explain sort of what I'm doing anyway. So it's very cool but very confusing, or it can be. Depends what you want to do. I mean, I've advanced my MCM setups as I've gone along in my mods, and I keep adding more and more fancy but confusing stuff into them. So especially the sort of image changing thing every time you click on it, which I might show you a bit of. But basically I'm having to line out a load of integers, bools, strings for different things, so you can turn things on and off and the menu recognises them. That's all that stuff is. Properties, I've just put boo at the moment, just a standard property, just to say that's where they're going to go. I haven't written any out yet. Events, the first event on config in it, the major thing to mention about this is it has to extend one of the scripts, which you actually have to download and make sure you've got installed. If you want to create these, you have to have it extend config base, which is all SCSI related and stuff. I think it has to link to one of the new script layouts for the MCM. But like I say, that website will explain how you get started anyway and give you the files to download for that. So yeah, this first event basically lays out the pages. So there's going to be a features page, a download, a tower design page, and a mod guide page. There might be more pages depending on how many menus, how much customization I end up doing and such. So we'll see how that goes. But for the minute, I've just put them 3 pages. I know I'll have a features page, and I know it'll probably be the first anyway. So then you've got load up all the menu options. This is just going to make sure that all the right stuff shows. So in this case, this is getting banner changing lists ready and such, because although I'm going to be doing a lot of the drapes and rug changes in game where you select items, the banners are a bit of a funky one, and I chose that I'll just do the general banner layout as a just in the MCM system instead. So yeah, So I've just listed all of my banners. So these are going to be the actual list layouts. So you've got no banners, Dark Brotherhood, load list there. That's all the banners that you can potentially hang in the place, depending on who you're with. Oh, just thought. You can grey options out. Now the reason I haven't done a video on this, tutorial properly on this, is because, like I say, it's very confusing. And I'm not confident enough with it. I don't know enough about it to actually feel like I'm giving you all the right information. And I don't think I'd want to start a series where I cover the basics and then leave everyone totally screwed for figuring out the rest of it. And the other thing I've noticed with like doing scripting tutorials is people tend to just want a script off you that works rather than actually learning how to script themselves. The idea is that people script themselves, really, because if you just keep using example scripts, if ever you need something changing, you just don't understand how it works, or you have a bug or something that people need you to fix in the mod and you don't actually understand about the things that you're using, it's like, well, you're kind of reliant upon my information and my help, which I can't always provide. It's like, the idea is that you try and build upon what I give you, and that's why I haven't really done a video on this anyway, because scripting itself can be bit of an art, bit of a knack. You have to develop a knack for it. But anyway, mail list. As you can see, what I've done is I've loaded up the MCM system, which I'll show you here, which was from Mershgum Estate. If you don't know what that mod is, then you can check it out on my website, www.darkfox127.co.uk. That was a joint project with Eleonora, with a bit of help from a number of other people. Basically, it's just it's a very customizable house mod, and this is just to give you an idea of what you can end up writing when it comes to an MCM system. In many cases, it can be longer than this. Now, there is also a limit, I think, to how many lines or characters you can have in the standard creation kit script compiler. So it's like, it's not limited in a sense that you can't write anything more than, say, 1,000 lines. You're completely screwed. It's limited in the sense that just the creation kit won't do it. It just stops. It won't enter any more characters. But the game is capable of having a lot more. So you have to do it in an external editor like Notepad, and then try and compile it. I have got, and I've kind of forgotten how to use, so I might have to use one of my old videos to remind myself, but I've got something that a friend of mine made for me, which is just to compile scripts nice and easy. And I know there's other things available on Nexus, but this thing's quite easy. It's like a batch file that just does the script compiling for me, so I can write it all up in Notepad and then hopefully compile it like I would in the creation kit, and it even throws up errors and tells me what's wrong. So I might have to do that after. But if I'm careful enough and I don't fuck up, this should just compile first time anyway. But that's to give you an idea of how the script can end up being. And it's not as horrific as it looks. It's really quite simple, like I say, depending on what you want to do. If you're doing just basic stuff, it really is quite simple once you know what you're doing. And it's more or less just copy and pasting and linking to things more than anything. It's not really that bad. It's a lot of it else if statements and such, at least for me at the minute. That's how I'm laying it out. So yeah, I need to go back up. What I thought I'd do is just figure out the bits that I'm using for the minute, the features I'm having, and put in the integers and stuff, and write out some of the lists. So MCM style list. This is something I introduced in Mershgum, and then I don't know if I think I kind of transferred it to Riverside Shack's update 2.0, but not fully. But basically, the menu that you get on the MCM, the nice little image that you get, like cover image, I noticed that everyone's is always just a standard image, and I wondered if I could script it so you can do sort of a single image, it randomise, or even choose what image you can show on the MCM. And with a bit of work, bit of routing around that website that I showed you, you can actually do it, and I managed to set it up. So I'm just going to use the same thing here. I think I am going to put it in Caranthir Tower, so you can have like something like 10 images that you can choose from and choose which one you want. It's kind of like the cover to the mod. You can pick which one you want. So this is going to be a little different. I've got to change the name to match this. So it's MCM list, and the good thing using Notepad++ is it autofills a lot of this, which is very helpful when I'm doing stupid scripts like this. A lot of people say, why do I use the built-in creation kit one when it's just quicker, simpler, and I'm usually writing fairly short scripts, but when I'm doing this one it's probably best that I use Notepad++. So MCM image list style list, that's the one I needed, which it looks like I've actually called exactly the same, which is helpful. So MCM style list 0, 1 and 2. If I go up, it's here somewhere. It might be shaking a bit. I'll just move that. Yep, I think that's fine. Shouldn't be knocking up. Right. Was that name the same? MCM style list as a string. MCM menu style list. No. That's what it should be. Let's just test that theory. Yeah, it's MCM style list. Let's just check it. Yeah, it's basically the string. Okay, I'll back that up a bit. So I'll just take out the menu part. Standard, random and customize. Custom, random and standard, that's better. Makes a bit more sense. So, we got, what is up next? Standard, random, customize, and I've got the MCM menu image. So as you can see here, I had 12 images. I'm probably going to stick to 10 for this, so the string's going to have to be changed. MCM image list, that'll end up changing to Okay, I don't fully know how that works, but I imagine there's a way of selecting all of them and telling it to do them all. Whoops. No matter. So for this I want 10, so because it starts with 0, I want up to 9, don't I? And what I'll do is rename them to CTR underscore image 1. Or MCM. So what this is going to point to the exact name of the file. Let me think. How does it go now? I think you have to basically store images in a very specific location, which is interface. In this case, before it was Mershgum, and then you put it in there. So this, what it will do is actually point to the name. So the list here is just what you're going to see in the list, so the names of them. Okay. So I'll just leave them for now. I'll change them when I actually know what the images are. But when it comes down to coding it, it will point directly to the data folder and you'll have to put in the directory for each image, if that makes sense. Music, I think I'm leaving that out. I don't think I'm allowing you to change the music anymore like I did in Merge School. That is hell to do. Maybe I might add it, but for now I'm not planning on it. So that should then be just end events. And then I'm going to want the next one. MCM menu image. Right. This is a whole new event. So on page reset, which one's this again now? This is when it's loaded up. This is how it puts all of the menus in place, I think. So let's start with that and then put MCM image. So I know what this is. Oh, this is fun. Here we go. This is what I'm saying. Mershkum MCM 00. That's the different images, that is. So I'll have a 0 or 1 and everything else. Oh, that is confusing. So I could have that copy image standard instead. So what I want to do now, go under interface, make myself a folder, call it CTR, and what I'm actually going to do is just put notepads to keep me reminded what these have got to be called. So it can be CTR underscore MCM underscore image underscore 0 and so on. There we go, so remind me that. Let's just paste that there a minute. And what I can do is copy this. Oh my. So if page, now there's nothing written in page, so basically this is just the bog standard image that'll show when you open the MCM. This is before you've selected a page. What I did there, which is rather smart actually, that is nothing to do with the script. That doesn't run in the script. But what it does do is give me a little key. It's just 0 equals single image, 1 is rotational, and 2 is my choice. So I might actually want to change that to match the naming scheme that I've gone with. So that'll be custom, random, and standard. So that's just for me, that's just a little key to let me know what I'm doing there. Then we've got the whole shebang going on. Now, as for random, if you want it to randomize anything, you have to use a random integer. So you use the debug sort of utility.random thing, which is what I've done here. So I'm going to make a nice little integer built in here that it uses. This is what I do if you've watched the Chicken Reborn stream. You'll see that I've used random integers for all of these random actions. So it'll pick a number from 0 to, well actually I'll put from 1 to 10. That makes more sense. That's going to make this 10 times easier to code. And that was an image change, meaning if it lands on 1, show 1 and so on. That's much better. So instead of mershgum image, MCM image, int ran, I'll go with the chicken naming scheme because it makes sense. Int ran MCM image is a random integer from 1 to 10, and then every time you open up the menu, it'll do that. Oh no, wait, that's right, int ran, that's it. It's a bit confusing, but I know what it means. Then I'm going to want that. I'm just going to copy things. It's so much easier than having to rewrite all this and look at the web page. I've pretty much got a base for my own MCM system now, so I'll work off that. So if the page is that, it is going to go through and check what the integer is. So in this case, what it needs to do now is check the setting, which will be a bunch of global variables. So in this case, it's going to check to see what the player has set in the MCM as the option. So do they want a standard image, a custom image, or a random image? So I'm going to need a global variable, and this is where my properties are going to come in. So I'm going to have CTR. No, I'm not. I'm going to have CT global. I don't use the R. CT global MCM, and then I'm going to put standard. I might want to put image in there actually. So image standard. And I'll put these straight into the mod as well. Copy that. I like to have 3 gap there before the event. So it's going to be what is it from my key? My key told me standard, random, and custom. Now I'm going to set those up. Now the defaults are interesting. By default it's going to be random. So, oh, is it? Hold on, how have I done this? Sorry, that's completely wrong. I need a... yeah. I only need 1 global variable. I'm thinking completely wrong here. So I'll just delete them. Sod them. Let's call it... I don't need that whatsoever. So what it is the style. MCM image style. That's actually what I want. So if that dot get value equals 0, and then by default I'll make it 1. So I'll just make that 1. By default it's 1, that's much better. Let's see. Okay, and that's what it wants to do. And this is where I'll tell it what it's going to load. So if on the standard page we're going to show an image, and it's going to check if it's meant to be random or what using that key layout there, and then it's going to have to point to this exact location, which is going to use the name that I chose, which is that. So that's what we're going to call it, DDS. The folder name is CTR. So it's going to go straight to the interface CTR folder and look for that image, which is going to be standard, and then 1's going to be random, so I need a list of the images. Otherwise, if it's 1, if it's random, it's going to go through the integers, so I'll leave that for a minute. Else, otherwise the only other thing it can be is, in fact that's just going to make it a lot easier. or that'll make the script too long then. Sod it. Otherwise, just do that. Otherwise, if it's 1. Okay. So if it's standard, random, custom. Now we need for custom. Custom. So yeah, it's going to work off the random integer, so if that otherwise if that equals that. This could be being a bit too smart of a program. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, whoops, 9, 10, and then show an image. And if show each of the images. I think might want me to turn on there as well. Whoops. That's it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All the way up. Then, custom. So if the random integer is on that, and yada yada. Now this is where it's going to get interesting, because MCM loading materials 2. Ooh, get value. MCM loader is more G, loader is MCM. Okay, so now I'm going to need a global variable for selecting it, which needs to be very closely named, but not quite the same as this one. So you've got the style and then you've got the image. That's it. Because it's a global variable, you have to do this a bit different. So if get value is 1, else if, yeah, sometimes this is trying to be far too clever rather than just do what I need it to. Otherwise, if it's 2, Why is it doing that? There we are. Custom random, so on. If that, otherwise that, and that. So that's sorted the MCM. All I have to do is actually create some images, which I do have a template that I tend to use, although I'm probably going to change it up. So if I go to mods, complete mods, Mershgum, mod files 1.3, 1.3 loose, interface, Mershgum. These are my images for Mershgum. And I do have myself a template, just with like the scraggly crap around the edge, but like I said, I might change it for this. I might do like a magical border or something. And it has to be like a DDS. I have to make these DDS files. And it'll just randomize between these, or select the one that you want, or just go with a standard image, which in this case I think was one of the exterior ones. There we go, that one. Oh no, that was the guide, sorry. Yeah, I'll also do like this on the guide page where I have an image that you can also have on there. So yeah, that's basically that. That's the MCM image out of the way, and it's a whole load of lines, but it's kind of cool. So hold on a moment, I've just got this. If the page is that, otherwise it needs to just unload content. And end if there. The lines here really help, and tabbing stuff across is a very good idea when scripting. And I can probably get rid of that now. So that's all typed out there. And listed all that. So what is up next? If page. So these don't work off else if page. This is just if. So you do the next one. If page is the settings page, then we have to do a load of other jazz. This is going to be fun. So now I've got flags. Oh, the fun. Oh, the fun of this. This is weird. I've just thought of something. Are you still working on the Millwater Retreat guide mod? No. I won't be working on Millwater Retreat at all. Not even a guide, at least, not for the moment. If I decide to go back, I might. It's just such an old mod and it's such a mess. And it pretty much guides you itself anyway, through the mod. Yeah, settings, int. Yeah, I thought of something here, which is the I only want certain banners available if you're part of the faction and stuff like that, so you have to unlock things, which is going to be confusing. But before I go on with trying to figure that out, let us check these globals. I need to make sure I've got globals for each of these. By default, the MCM image is going to be on. I think. So Yeah, basically flags here, which are like built-in little integers. This is all going to do with whether something shows on the menu or if it is dulled out. So you set a flag which is kind of like an on-off switch, whether it's dulled out or is visible, and it's only visible if certain conditions are met. But it gets difficult if it's even possible with things in a list. Oh, this is awkward. So I don't know. These are going to be shown no matter what. Maybe I'll have to just lift that restriction then, and you can select whatever banner you want anyway. As cool as that would have been. Although, you'll then have an option select event soon. So when you select it, it could just it could just check. I just don't want the script doing too much. When will Caranthir Tower be open for testers? No, it's good. It's fine. I quite like a bit of an active chat. Not too active, like. You can go away and ask questions. That's partly what this is for, because I don't connect with my followers too much. Basically, I have no idea yet. I'm taking my time with it, but the idea of this is to try and get the MCM done. So I'm getting restricted at points now where I'm trying to build something into the tower, and I'm like, it'd be nice to just link it to the menu and have it feel like I'm progressing somewhere and something's getting done. So the menu's a pretty big part. So if I can nail a lot of this, and we can actually load this up in an hour or so with a fully functioning menu, that would be nice. Well, I'll say fully functioning, I mean you can see things at least, options and such. It's not all going to work, but it'd be nice to get banners linked and stuff. Okay, obviously I plan on getting this done before Fallout 4 comes out, and that is because I want to finish off my projects for Skyrim, get some more nice tutorials rolled out for the creation kit, organise my channel, buy Fallout 4 shortly after its release, not straight away. Then I'll play that all the way through like a sad ass, and note everything down, maybe even stream it, and then I'll wait for the kit. By then the kit will be out. So yeah, that's it. I'll basically leave it about a month from the game's release to see if the game's actually screwed up or if it's really what it should be, any good. Then hopefully buy Fallout, and then yeah, then I play it. By then kit comes out, and then mod the crap out of it and do loads of tutorials. Sorry for the constant interruptions. No, it's fine. I'm kind of just sitting thinking how to fiddle this right now. I think what I'll do is I'll just lay it out to block the things that are supposed to be blocked. Okay. Auto close doors I'm not going to have in this. Auto sort flag, yes. I do need an auto sort flag. So let's start putting these in. Banner flag. Do I need a banner flag? I don't know now. Ideally, you don't really want access to menus before you've got in the bloody tower. So yeah, I need a banner flag. Everything needs possibly dulling out, really, doesn't it? Auto sort flag, banner flag. Then we've got. Oh no, that would be too much. I'm now thinking, what if the MCM menu only appears after you go to the tower? So most people's MCM menus appear as soon as the game starts. I'm just thinking, what if you could kick it in at a certain point, but I'd have to worry about that afterward. That's too much. I'm not a very quest savvy person. Int MCM style flag, and we want MCM image flag. Then we want ownership. Ownership's about having owned the house, so this one needs to be about having done a certain thing. Revealed the tower. This can be revealed flag. Oh, that sounds dodgy. Int then SM is season mode, which I'm not going to have to begin with. More lock flag. Whether you're in the location, that was to do with the music. So now I need to go through and check if anything else, other features that need locking out to begin with. Don't think there are. So the features are AS, that's auto sort, I've just done. I've done the MCMs. DI is dynamic interiors, which is fine to be set from the off anyway, so is dynamic NPCs. Immersive storage and realistic construction can both be set, and time screens can also be set from the off. It doesn't matter, so that's fine. Yep, that's brilliant. In fact, we've actually got less here at the moment. So, yeah. So that's the integers. Add empty option. Oh, the fun. This is going to be bloody weird. This is very cool. This is for organising your menu out. This is the layout, whether you want everything down the left, everything down the right, put things left to right, or down the left and down the right. Basically just the layout of your options and scroll menus. In this case, there shouldn't be so many options that it just gets in the way. So you've got set cursor fill mode, which is left to right. That's funky. How have I actually done Mershgum? I should have an image of the MCM. That's if Nexus is back up now and not mashed, which it has been. MCM, anyone? Should be an image. That one maybe. I actually did it quite funky. I went left to right with features and customization. Okay. Not really much point, is there? Or is there? Have I got another image? One that shows me that better? I can't bloody remember what those are. Time screens is one and the other one's the ghost, I think. So that one's music. If I do decide to add music changing, that'd be cool, and it's there. Customization and features. Features, I'm not going to have that. I'm going to have that. No. Maybe it is worth going left to right and putting that in. I'll copy it. I'll do the same because I'm probably going to add more features anyway. Yeah, you are very talented with your scripts. I was looking at the ones in Dark Water. Thank you very much. I'm not actually brilliant at scripting. I like to think I'm very good at fiddling the scripting that I know to do what I want in some funky ways creatively, but I'm not brilliant at scripting. I don't know everything about it. There's a lot of areas I just haven't gone into. I do find it quite fun though. So yeah, left to right, features, customization. So it's kind of weird how it does this. So that's telling it what to do from left to right, and it's going features, customization, and it keeps going back and forth, left, right, left, right, left, right. So this actually makes for a very difficult thing. You have to state the first feature on the left, the first feature on the right, the second feature on the left, the second feature on the right, rather than going all the features down the left and all the features down the right. So it gets a bit awkward. So you have to get your order right here, otherwise you're going to end up with things in the wrong bloody list. Okay, so what I'm probably going to want to do, in fact, I've already done something. Where is it? I've bloody got this somewhere. It's too much. Can anyone see that? That's it. The font's that big because I usually have this on my second monitor. I'm not blind. Plus I'm far away from my TV anyway. So features auto loot crafting, I forgot about that. That is something I'm hoping to implement using somebody else's script. Taking a look at it. Auto loot crafting. Turn that on or off. So that might need adding into the MCM. And I've got auto sort, dynamic NPCs, immersive storage, MCM image default, music, realistic construction, blah blah blah. Tower design, that's where things get interesting in terms of customization, so that would eliminate the whole problem of these different bloody lists if I do just split things up. So technically these are features. That would be a feature in a way. Tower design, yeah, I'll do it that way then. What I'm going to want is this MCM. Oh crap. I'm going to want this MCM quick start guide just to find out how to get it straight down. Left to right, top to bottom. That's what we need to use. Instead. So yeah, I'll go top to bottom. It saves us a lot of trouble. That way I can add things afterwards without so much of an issue. Add empty option is just going to basically leave a gap. The header is obviously where you saw it come up saying features highlighted. So that's what I'm going to put there. Although there's no point in it saying features in the features menu. So I'll just not even have a gap, top to bottom, start listing them. And that's where it checks the flags to see if they should be visible or not. And then I don't have to worry about patches. This should be a bit simpler than the Mershgum menu, if anything. So, and by the way, the Darkwater Sanctuary scripts are really old. They're cool. They're cool little short scripts, but they're very old. Like so much odd change. It's a very good example of how my crafting systems and stuff have really progressed and other things. So set that, then this gets tricky. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add that extra thing in. Pretty sure I'll figure out it works. Auto saw, auto loot crafting, int auto loot crafting. So I'm just going to abbreviate everything. I auto loot crafting. Then you've got IBAN for banners. Strings is the banner list. That's not going to have a list. This is going to need a bool and a default. So it's going to be bool value by default off. I'm going to have most of the features off to begin with, because then people can just turn them on after, and then they can see if there's any change in performance, if it starts affecting performance. If that makes sense. Rather than having things on like time screens and it causing crashing and stuff, like because of EMBs and everything, it will just be off, and then they can save, turn it on, and see if they have any trouble. Rather than things being forced on and breaking everything from the start. So that is that. That means this is going to need, is it going to need a flag, or is it going to be just on anyway, or available afterwards anyway? I suppose it could be it could just be left. Technically auto sort. Hold on. You don't really need. You do need to grey out auto sort because you need things available. But auto crafting being turned on shouldn't really make a difference. So we don't need something for that. So this is turned out to be a bit easier than I thought it would. Set cursor. Now we need to do these wonderful if statements. And we need a variable for each setting, so whether it's on or off. Features. Let's go back to features and make sure I've got myself a global variable for them. So the first thing I've got is auto loop crafting. That's going to be new. So CT global auto loop crafting. Time screens have already got listed in there. These need listing like that. Auto sort, surprised I haven't got that one. And the other thing to mention is you're going to want to make sure that your value is going to match up with what you can do in the script. So if by default I'm having this turned off, I want this as 0. If by default I was having this turned on as a feature as soon as you load the mod, then I'd put that as 1. So we've got auto sort, then we've got the MCM style and image, which I already did, I think. MCM, anyone see it there? Image and style, and those were the mistake I made. Then we've got DI, which is dynamic interiors. If I put that in, I've put that in. DO, don't know what the hell DO was. I don't even know what that is. That been used anywhere? Trigger check. Ooh. Trigger check. Hold on. What the bloody hell is that? Am I what? Anyway, why is this used in it? What the? So I've got dynamic interiors, whether it's on or off. I need. What? Global do. What the bloody hell is global do? Do. What are you? What the heck is that for? Well, I have an idea. What line are you used on? 76. I was bloody on it then. Oh crap. I think that's meant to be the dynamic NPCs. I have no idea what the hell the O was for. Dynamic outfits. Dynamic outfits. That's more dynamic NPCs now though. So actually what I need to do here is put that back in. Dynamic NPC. Because I think that's what I've called it. Yeah. Dynamic NPC and then change anything here to that. Oh God. Where are you? Global DMPC. There we go. That's updated then, and what I'd want to do is just change that By default, that's going to be off. It was going to be on. It's going to be off. And what that does is allow their wardrobe clothes to be swapped in and out and such. But the reason people might not want it on is, again, just to cut down on the amount of scripts running and such and cool shit going on. So, 7 people watching. Don't be afraid to type hi in the chat or ask any questions. I don't mind. It's all good. We need if and if yada yada. So this is where it's going to start getting interesting. This is where all the global variables are needing it. Global variable property, CT global, and then we need to start listing them. So I'm going to need alk, ass, die, then we're going to want DMPC, which I've completely cocked up. Then we're going to want is. Then we're going to want RC, which is realistic construction, so it makes everything insanely stupid to craft. Because a lot of the feedback, a lot of the feedback that I've got is like, oh, this home was too easy to get, oh, this didn't cost enough, this didn't do this. So basically I'm trying to spruce it up so you can make it as easy as difficult as you want, and you can do it in different ways. There is our global variables. So now this I didn't do. This is where it's going to show image 1 2 3 4 5 or whatever, so this stuff needs to go back in. 10 9 8 7 5 4 3 2 1. Thunderbirds are go. Four, 3, 2 and 1. See what I mean by the whole, it's really not as daunting as it looks, it's just time consuming and silly. Although I'm sure there's probably a bit of a quicker way of doing that, but I can look into that afterwards. For now I'll just do it how I know it'll work and then mess with it later and see if I can really narrow it down. Oh, the fun. We need that. This is what I've been freaking trying to copy for ages. So I'll put the layout. Now I want to start laying it out. Now, are these all settings? That's my first problem. That should now be called features, otherwise that page won't work. Auto sort banners is kind of interior tower design, so that one isn't going there. Then the MCM styles and such is features. Revealed is to do with it, and auto sort is to do with features. So the thing on the top of the list is actually going to be something else. So if flag is disabled, show that. Otherwise, add that auto close doors. You just add topic. Okay. So toggle option. Basically, if it's supposed to be there, it'll add a toggle option where you can actually flick it on and off. Otherwise, it will just put a piece of text as if it looks like it's there, but when you hover over it, it's actually dulled out, and it'll just be like, you can't do nothing because you haven't done something. Whoa, message. Are you familiar with importing and exporting models in 3ds Max? No. I have everything set up with 3ds 2012 and the NIF plugin. I'm wondering if you have a reference, the rhyme and reason behind some of the settings. And most tutorials I've seen of people saying use the settings I have shown with no explanation of how it all works. Yeah. I've tried to follow like the very few 3ds tutorials and such, and it's like no, nobody very clearly explains exactly how to install it. Nobody seems to clearly explain exactly how stuff works. They're kind of like, this is how you do this. And it's like bit of help, you know, bit of why this works, and then sometimes there's like, yeah, plugins that are like they seem to have that don't appear for you, and then because they haven't actually explained how stuff works, you have no chance of really doing anything. That's why I've kind of given up on the modelling thing at the moment, like looking into that, because it's just a whole nother program to learn, and I haven't been bothered with that. So I just like use the basic NIF scope as much as I can to tweak things, or get other people to help me out with a couple of things, because I have not been able to delve into modelling. Not that kind of modelling anyway. If. So the top bit is if conditions are met, and the bottom bit is if conditions aren't met. Okay. So in this case, what I'm going to need is, well, I've got to decide first and foremost whether auto sort's turned on or off and how it's done. The way I did it with Riverside Shack is it was actually a menu option. The way I've done it in Mershcombe Estate is it was an actual container. Now I actually don't know where I'm going to have the container. Auto sort. No, I'm not too sure on NIF files and such. I only know a bit of stuff with NIF scope. I'm not like a major mad on that either. There's a ton of settings in that program. I just don't get what the hell they are. I'm slowly learning a lot of basics with models and stuff with NIF scope and everything, but no expert on that yet. Yet. Okay. You see, auto sort's a weird one. It might make sense to put an auto sort set up in the vault. That's where you're going to go to store stuff now. Oh, this is insane. Auto sort in this case is what allows you to use it. So for this, you can only toggle it if certain things are available. That's not auto sort. That was auto close doors. I'm getting confused. There's an auto sort flag though. Auto sort craft. Yeah, that's if you've made it. I don't think auto sort really needs to be there, doesn't it? I think auto sort can just be available. You can turn it on or off. And what I'll do is when you walk into the vault, you'll get a message asking if you want to sort everything, maybe. I'd have to just add that back in after. So I'm going to say sod it to the auto sort, and then we've just got MCM stuff to deal with. So as long as I don't save this, I can go through this and delete them. That's like banners. Auto crafting, MCM load, and if the ownership flag for dynamic interiors, if it's owned. So apparently I'm going to start hiding things depending on if the place is owned or not. That's interesting. If I hang out here all the time, become your best friend ever, can I eventually take a look at the script for Sky Voice and fix a couple of broken shouts? Don't know what Sky Voice is. Not heard of that one. If you want to like do any uploads of existing mods, you usually have to get the author's permission anyway. Okay, let's go down this and let's eliminate the crap that I'm not doing, and I'll just copy this. Auto close doors. Don't need that. Don't need that right now. Ownership. Auto craft for the auto sort. Not really. Auto sort can work off ownership. So if I just pull that back and say get the ownership flag, that's what I want to do. That's it. Just move that. So, revealed flag. I'm going to need a global variable to say that the tower has been revealed, which I have a feeling I might already have. Risen. Because that doesn't give anything away. Risen. Tower equals toggle option, flag none, flag disabled. Oh, I think yes, the top is not available. Otherwise, which is so yeah. Basically, this is where the flag stuff comes in now. Then. So I think this is where we dull the flag out. So what we want is auto sort flag. Or whatever bloody flag. What are we doing this for? Auto sort. Yeah, you shouldn't be able to change many of these options until the tower's risen. So auto flag would be disabled, and then you would just literally have a toggle option which is greyed out. Auto sort. That's it. Otherwise, if it is available, you do this. That's it. I've got the idea now. That's how I've done it. So that's that on the list. Then you'd have load image. Would you? No, you wouldn't. You would have dynamic interiors. So technically, auto loop crafting shouldn't be available. How much of this do I actually want the player to not be able to change? It's really just tower design stuff. There shouldn't really be anything stopping you. Oh, this is really confusing me. What's the MCM flag for? That makes sense for the image list. Basically, I don't want the player auto sorting unless everything's crafted. So what I really want to do is put a craft thing, sort of a craft global variable. So I am really going to want a flag for this. For auto sort. That would be nice for reading it. Okay, that's interesting. Auto sort, that's cool. So auto sort can be based off of the instead of that, it can be based off global AS craft. Auto. I'm probably going to want to save this. Oh, what happened to that now? There we go. Alright, that's fine. So I do want to limit that. I don't see why I'm bothering limiting half these options off. There's no need to. The MCM load image, yes. That means that that's really the only one that needs to change. MCM image, so I need a flag for style now. Why have I got one for MCM image there? That's auto sort craft. So that's to do with banners I don't need. That's to do with auto sort craft, which is essentially what I've just done. That one is to do with load image, whether customize MCM image. That's to do with the list. That one makes sense. That's image flag, MCM image flag. Style flag. Where's that being used? This one is for dynamic interiors, which I'm not planning on blocking. That one is the style add option, style. That's fine, because that's always going to be available. So this is where we want to start adding these underneath. So the auto loot crafting is going to be available anyway. So that's actually the first one that needs to be listed. So if we put that in and then start typing these in. So we have, that's an index one. It's an on and off switch kind of thing. So it just needs to be nice and simple. Now that's where it gets funky because it's copying a flag. That toggle option, that you have, but it's for iAlk and it's valalk. I think we're getting somewhere now. And it's auto loot crafting on or off. Then you've got the auto sort, so that's that one. Dynamic NPCs is up next, so that's always going to be available. So that's what goes next. Dynamic NPCs, change the name. So this is just matching everything up now. Then we've got immersive storage. Then we've got MCM. That's where you have the setting now, so this one needs to go in. So that's MCM style. That's fine. Anyone confused yet? Customize MCM style. Just going to list it as MCM style. That's MCM, remove the menu. Part, MCM style for index. Then we want a selection part. I'll put that in here. And I'll change it. So this is where you have to check the variable. So is it set to 2? Was it 2? Check if it's set to 2. Yeah. So for this, if it's 2, and it is the global for global MCM style. Because this is the list. So if you've set the MCM style to be custom, it needs to show the list up and not be blacked out. So it's the MCM style flag. Now, MCM style flag. Add option. That's where you want to put MCM image. Is it style? No, it's actually the image that needs to say image there, and it's MCM image. You change it depending on what the image is, and it's style list, I think. I don't need a style flag, I need an image. Global, oh no, you are getting that the style is set to that. And then what you're doing is adding the MCM image by image style list. It needs to be image list. Actually needs to be that. It's not a toggle option, it's like a list menu option. So that's it. Then what you want is this, copying the flag if it's not available. Sorry, them are now the wrong way around. So if it's 2, disabled if it's not available. That's it. So they seem to be the wrong way around on that one for some reason. So that should be it. The MCM image. Oh, I'm glad that bit's out of the way. That is confusing as hell. And you've got the actual image, then immersive storage. That's just going to be added, which I already have. Music. I'm going to leave music out for the minute, but realistic construction can go in there. Alright, that's realistic construction. Anything else we had was time screens, so that can be TS. Time screens, there we go. That's the list that's going to be put out there. So we skip all of that, forget about that. Patches, forget about that, I think. Else if patches, that's interesting. So maybe we can use else if. else if page equals mod guide. Yeah, that's it. That's where this comes in. For a full guide of this mod, please visit www.darkfest127.co.uk and use the navigation menu to find Caranthir Tower Reborn. False. Understood. That'd be nice if you could actually load up the browser or something when they click OK. That'd be freaking amazing. But I don't think that would work. So then CTR, and it's going to be image, and I'll put just G for guide, I think. That's what that'd be. So then you'll just put end if. Oh yeah. Then we're done on that. And then you can go ahead and end the event, I do believe. That isn't course of celebration, I don't know what is. That is that bit done. Then I'm going to put my next event, which is when you select options. Another thing to note is I think it's very important what order you put some of your events in, but I don't remember exactly what order it is. So this is where it's going to do the actions themselves. So it is going to set the actions in this setup for this event. So it'll go if it's settings. So when you select something, it'll choose what it does. This is more based around just the toggling, I think, and then you have to have one separate for options menu. So what happens when you select certain menus? Set menu, dialog, indexes, and then when you accept a menu option, that's it. Oh my god. And then you've got option defaults. And then you've got option highlighting. So you know, like the little tips that you get on the MCM when you select an option at the bottom. You may have noticed them, you may have not. It will decide what it says there. And you can even limit this to if statements as well. So yeah, that's cool. And then you've got functions if you want to use any functions. So this isn't too bad. So at the moment I've got those events laid out. And that's that. That's going to want saving, and what I need to do now is the next step. The next step is kind of tricky. You'll probably find, obviously, in this video, because everything's not finished, I'm going to be just laying this out ready more than anything, rather than doing it all now, because certain things aren't available in the tower yet. So we've got that to put in now for this next event. I keep dragging my mouse off the side. It keeps getting caught on my bloody top. Right. End event. This is nuts. Now then, save. What more do we have here? Basically, if the page is settings, but in this case, if the page is features, it knows what to do. Now we have to go through and check if the option being selected is for each option. So if option is this, so if you've selected the auto sort, auto close doors, whatever, in this case this one's going to be the auto loot crafting. I'll think of it, something here, there we go. If option is auto loot crafting, then it's going to decide what to do. So when you select that, this mostly is just going to be to do with setting global variables and values for this to understand. So val alc equals val alc again. That's what sets that. Set toggle toggle option, set toggle option. Let's just take that and make sure we get this right. I'm just going to change it to each of them now, so this should be fairly easy. And then if ct global alc dot get value equals 0, change it. Set it to 1. And then show message auto loot crafting activated. Can't quite remember what the false and stuff is all about, but this is just setting up how you want your menu to be. Understood. That should be that. Else you will basically change the ct global alc dot set value to 0 and show the message deactivated.